ladies, and gentlemen, hold on to your skins, cause we about to elevate your soul out this realm, baby. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and enjoy. What you know about looking at the world through the eyes of a guy? So much fakeness, all these facades. Authentic living is a thing in the past. Stuck in time, the hourglass keeps on falling, so I keep on balling. Everybody holding on to life. Yeah, true illusions got your ass confusing with shiny materials. I go ethereal, back in the astral, where I go beyond the elements. Energies haven't said, whoa, boy, there's layers to this. So many worlds through the layers exist. So I pick and choose, cruise, not the type to lose. Fuse everything I see with my three eyes inside of me. Turn into Yeshua, Krishna, the Buddha is inside of me. But truly I'm working to become like my brother Babaji. I'm a guru with a straight Naruto with it. Got Latin flavor mixed with Zulu in it. Genetics of the gods, we are all extraterrestrials. I go celestial, floating on this pod. Made of light, so damn bright. And I be piloting this through my consciousness. Watch how it integrates with the technology. All of my people wishing they could consciousness, but you must fuse the spirit and anatomy. Frightening, this lightning, charging me up. I might spend my time in this space, so aligning, defining these moments of golden extraction. Right out of the ether, need your love. I can see what you are thinking of. You are connected to me in infinity. Step to my level and go through the Trinity. Finna be glowing, watch how I'm flowing. Serving you right, everything can be folding. Woo, god damn, feeling thumping in my pineal gland. Levitating off the ground where I stand. Speaking the language of God, cause I am that I am. Bars, took that ass to Mars. Traveling faster than speed of light, no flying cars. I got the fear. Stuck between illusion and what's real. Homie, I just need my time to heal. Always gotta keep it real, just so that you know the deal. Tell your homeboy he better chill. We ain't got no time to kill. Stuck between illusion and what's real. Meditate through life, you know the deal. We ain't got no time to kill.
I am God. This is not a hobby. This is not a job. I am not a copy. I am not a fraud. I can't die. I am not the body. I am God. This is not a hobby. This is not a job. I am not a copy. I am not a fraud. There is no start. No end. Nowhere. No when. No why. No how. Only the now. There is no this. No that. No white, no black, no me, no you, only the truth. You do not matter, you do not exist. You a really good actor just reading a script. You a thought, a concept trapped in a box. You could go break the bank, but you can't break the locks. Trying to win is the reason you lost. Hate the effects, but created the cause. Stuck in this matrix, relearning the basics. You've been here before, you just must have forgot. Oh, you don't remember? Before all the external pleasure, before all the numbers and measures, depression and pressure to be somebody who is always and never. Oh, you don't remember when you was a member of all of the energy trapped in the center? Now you a pretender, too scared to surrender and come back together. This is where the truth lies. Life is a book and every story has two sides. The body is a vehicle, woke up in a new ride. 2 legs, 2 arms, 1 head, 1 eye. You don't exist, there's only now, there's no exits. The fears you have is just a myth. You're just a soul, you must persist. So when you die, please don't resist. Cause I can't die. I am not the body, I am God. This is not a hobby, this is not a job. I am not a copy, I am not a fraud. I can't die. I am not the body, I am God. This is not a hobby, this is not a job. I am not a copy, I am not a fraud. There is no start, no end, nowhere, no when, no why, no how, only the now. There is no this, no that.
Immortal. Yeah. Came out the portal, immortal into a human body. I've been existing way before the earth had Anunnakis. Intergalactical battles, intergalactical travels, infinitely going through stars. The universe will unravel all of its secrets. Peep it, I'm starting to leak it. Time for truth is coming 100, it's time to seek it. Expanding my perception through the spectrum of light. I'm going in with spectrum and the shit's out of sight. We indigo children, yeah, we building frequencies through the ceiling. Penetrating through reality, a marvelous feeling. Regardless, we're healing these humans that be claiming we demonic. The resonance goes over their heads, we super cosmic. Your logic is ignorance mixed with fear in your thinking. My pineal gland is flooding, son, that shit don't be blinking. Sinking into your subconscious like a song with no words. The way I come up with these symbols of letters is absurd. Hey yo, my rhymes are like angelic beings. The shit is freeing, so pure that if you were born blind, I'll have you seeing. Breathing in a multi-dimensional light so captivating. Double helix is nonsense, so what I'm activating, feel the power from within, seeping right through my skin. From the earth into my feet as it goes up to my chin. It got me grinning, rotation like spirals, my music spinning. I told you that I don't be playing, still I'm always winning. Fibonacci to the haters, curve them right to the side. They don't understand the energy, it comes from inside. So inside is what I master, used to be a disaster. Now I'm gladly elevating to a whole new chapter. Yeah, I'm giving birth to a whole new style. I incarnated through New York, yeah, I rep Long Island. Don't get it twisted though, I'm truly repping this earth. I came to free all these humans and show you all what you're worth. Immortal. Yeah, raising your frequencies one soul at a time. As I pass this mic to my boy Spectrum, yo Spectrum, light that up, kid.
They tried to tell me I'm mortal, I told them I was immortal. They asked me what makes me different, I asked them what makes you normal. I just followed my morals and I unfollowed the formal. Hopped on a track with crews, now we straight cruising through portals. I download the Metatron, I'm reversing it till I'm dead and gone. If you think I'm dope, you said it wrong. Not trying to flex, but I'm hella strong. Mine did things you never seen. When I say mine, you know what I mean. I'm the most when I'm in my mode, and y'all average is like the mean. I really didn't mean to go intervene. I'm the middleman, chilling in between. You should do the math, we ain't keeping score. But I just hit a 3.14. I cook it up, make it look easy as pie. I'm moving in silence and seeing the sign. I am the G, if you remove me, all you gon' see is your sins. This is a big game of six, the simulation is breaking again. I'm taking control, creating my soul, and if the truth fits, I'm breaking it in. Breaking it. All I really know is that I'll never know. I've been here for forever, don't know when to go. I think that indicates that I'm an indigo. In that case, I'm in the go. Green light, my heart, chakra, booming. Solar, plexus, Lexus, zooming. You assuming that I'm human. I'm just being what you doing. I've been teaching teachers frequently. It's apparent I'm a parent when it comes to raising frequencies. The way I'm living life, I haven't rest in peace recently. Immortal with my technique, but my ego dying easily. Death is teasing me by leaving me with DMT. Now it seems to me that everything I see is seeing me. Life is just an infinite circle with a twist. I used to wanna be like them, now they do not exist.
Immortal.
Peace and wholeness to the space. How are we all this dawning? Please indicate in the chat for me where you coming in from, whether or not you can hear my voice, all that good stuff. If so, I greatly appreciate that in this moment in time. Happy new day. Ashe. Oh, we got VA in the house, Virginia in the house. I'm coming to you from Atlanta or Ellenwood, Georgia in the in and of the moment. We are here and we want to welcome you to our Aligning with the Evolving Cycles of Time, Knowledge, Empowerment session. Ashe. The question that we will be flowing through this dawning is, what opportunities does cosmic intelligence release? Are we going to release today? What opportunities are there for releasing? Ashe. On this wonderful white spectral world bridger, Kin 206. Happy Galactic Return, Priestess Kali, Anud, Hataru, Poda Kimi. Give thanks, and definitely happy galactic return to all world bridgers, all kin 206s, as well as to everyone within this wave spell. We are here on Friday, as we are every single Friday, also known as Celio, at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And you're going to be hearing from three profound speakers today. Your foundation is going to be brought to you by yours truly, Priestess Mutmayat Nefer Habibullah. Then we're going to have our oracle reading given to us by Moon Goddess, our fifth force oracle priestess initiate. Moon Goddess Ambrosia, the fifth force oracle. And then we're going to be having that question answered by our very own high priestess, I am Makaru. Amen. I am, as you've heard before, Priestess Mutmayat Nefer Habibul. I'll be your hostess, bringing you the foundation of what we're here for and the aligning with the evolving cycles of time, knowledge, and empowerment. I'm also Kin 178. I am a priestess of the MIMEC priesthood, and I am the white solar mirror. I hold that proudly, honestly. My affirmation is I pulse in order to reflect, realizing order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the solar tone of intention, and I am guided by the power of timelessness. We'll have our prayer of the seven galactic directions. Please govern yourselves accordingly. If you choose to, you can stand and face the directions with me, or just read along with me. Please, by all means, do one, both, or the other. From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum unapku eva maya emaho. Ayum unapku eva maya emaho. Ayum unapku eva maya emaho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. We are melanated immortals making evolutionary changes, and our mission is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of divine frequency beings with immortal health and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. Ashe, Ashe, that is such a powerful mission. And the fact that you are here lets me know that we are doing this together. If you are new to the space, definitely you are welcome. Please, please, if you don't know your kin number, please put your date of birth in the chat and we will definitely get that to you. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. We are in the Yellow Warrior Wave spell based on our 260-day sacred cycle. And today we are on Kin 206, the white spectral world bridger. Y'all heard me say before, happy galactic return. Priestess Kali Anut Heteru Poda Kimi. She is such a wonderful world bridger, y'all. She does everything that you see all going on up in this signature, and we're about to dive into it. Ashe. This destiny cross gives us a foundational map of our galactic signature showing how our spiritual, physical, and our mental and emotional powers work together. Our Kin 206 that you see in the center, the white spectral world bridger, known as the Hierophant, is the one who releases fear, dissolves limitations, and creates fearless opportunities through surrendering and through transformations. Then at the top, we have the spiritual guide, which is Kin 206 as well, guiding the path through liberation and sacred transitions, right? Then on the right side of the soul body, which is in the center, the physical body or the planetary partner is Kin 193, the red spectral skywalker, also known as the prophet. It's helping us in this day to explore our higher purpose in real life. And then on the left, we have our mental challenge, our mental body, which is known as our challenge and our gift. It's Kin 76, the yellow spectral warrior, also known as the Pathfinder, teaching us how to be courageous through our intelligence. And then at the bottom, the emotional body, that also known as our hidden power. And y'all gonna hear more detail on this when we get to the oracle reading. But that emotional body is Kin 55, the blue electric eagle. Ashe, known as the seer, all right? Awakening our visions, service, and our divine perspectives. So let's go ahead and read our affirmation. The first time with I, the second with you, and the third time with we. Ashe. And that you is you reflecting it to your loved ones and your community and the universe. All right, let's go. I dissolve in order to equalize, releasing opportunity. I seal the store of death with the spectral tone of liberation. I am guided by my own power doubled. We dissolve in order to equalize, releasing I'm sorry, you. I said we, I'm ready to you dissolve in order to equalize, releasing opportunity. You seal the store of death with the spectral tone of liberation. You are guided by your own power doubled. Y'all do that. Now we dissolve in order to equalize, releasing opportunity. We seal the store of death with the spectral tone of liberation. We are guided by our own power doubled. Yes, yes. Kin 206 is definitely living all of that. She does it because she works in the medical field and she's sealing it all there. But not just that, on the spiritual aspect, she helps everyone else make sure they stay focused on the value of releasing. All right, next. Here we have our Yellow Warrior Wave spell, right? And it's teaching us how to make good use of the sacred movements that we go through and 13 plasmas of fearless intelligence, questioning, courage, and truth. Okay. Each one of these tones that you see here, each one of these archetypes that you see on the screen, beginning with Kin 196, the magnetic tone, okay, the magnetic warrior, all right, is building a pathway of purpose with the magnetic, okay. Kin 197, the lunar earth, is bringing us challenge. The Kin 198, the electric mirror, is bringing us service. Kin 199, the self-existing blue storm, is bringing us our form within these 13 plasmas, okay? Kin 200, the overtone sun, is commanding some things, y'all, declaring some things, decreeing some things. Kin 201, the rhythmic dragon, yes, I said the rhythmic dragon is balancing it all with that rhythm, Ashe. Then Kin 202, the resonant wind, bringing in that attunement. Kin 203, the galactic night, is taking us through some integrity throughout all the previous plasmas and bringing it into fruition as we go into Kin 204, the solar seed. That seed is bringing us an action to put into place with everything that we brought into our purpose, Ashe. Then Kin 205, our planetary serpent, bringing about a manifestation, Ashe. And then now we on 206, the spectral world bridger, releasing some stuff that don't serve us, all right? Bringing to death in all the right ways, all the good ways, all that we can do to go into our Kin 207, the the crystal avatar, which is also known as the hand, the blue hand of cooperation. All right. Then we have our Kin 208 that's going to close out this whole wave spell for us, the yellow cosmic star, with a cosmic completion to it all. So with Kin 206, our white spectral world bridger being the focus for this plasma, we're entering into a very special spectral chamber of liberation. This is actually a moment where we dissolve old limitations, release fears, equalize, as we read within the affirmation, opportunity. And then the white world bridger is reminding us during this time, during this plasma, that transformation comes through surrendering, okay? Sacred death and rebirth, all right? So when we courageously let go, we become a bridge to fearless new possibilities. Let's keep that flowing, Ashe. Here we have our what we call what is the Zocan calendar, okay? And our Zocan calendar is broken down into 260, I say it's plasma instead of day, okay? Because nobody's walking around in the days. We are powerful, living, moving beings with blood flowing through our veins, right? So this 260 plasma cycle is showing us how to understand our time as a living energy together. Each and every single one of us incarnated as one of these 260 kins as expressions of the creator, right? So it's formed through a 13 galactic tone multiplied, all 13 the galactic tones multiplied by the solar tones, okay, which are the archetypes you see down the side, and at the top you see the tones going across, creating a full 260 kin or daily signature of consciousness. Okay, this 13 tones shows us how our energy moves through every single one of those that we spoke about during the wave spell. Okay, you know, the purpose, the challenge, the service, and the commanding, the balance, and all the integrity, and all of those. Then we have the 20 solar seals, which are, like I said, the archetypes you see down to the side, bringing of life force. That's our life force. We go through each and every one of these 20 because they're teaching us through the energies like dragon for the birth, okay, wind for the spirit. We got the world bridger for surrendering and opportunity, the warrior for fearless and intelligence, the storm for transformation, and then the sun bringing in the alignment at the bottom, okay? So we got the beginning to the end, the alpha, the omega, the first, the last. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. But we are all of them all together because why? In Lakesh, Alakim, I am another you. You are another me. Okay? Each day carries one tone and one seal that the combination becomes a kin. That's why we say if you don't know your kin, by all means, go ahead and put your date of birth in that chat so we can get yours to you because we need you to contribute in like-mindedness. It's a daily code, all right, that helps us to ask what energy is guiding me today. So today, the world bridger is spectral world bridger is guiding us. And then also, what lesson is life presenting to us? Ashe. And in this, we focus, if you notice the square around 206 within this calendar, the world bridger and the spectral tone is bringing liberation and bringing us to surrender throughout our transitions and our opportunities, letting go of the things that don't serve us. So in real life, y'all, sometimes we must just let go of our old fears, old patterns, and old identities. Yes, yes. So a new bridge can actually appear. You'd be like, why does this keep happening to me? Because you ain't released it. Okay. So the Zokin includes our galactic activation portals. Y'all see those green squares on it? Kind of look like it's forming a double helix. Well, ain't no kinda. It really is forming a double helix. These are special plasmas where we say energy, intuition, and our synchronicities amplify. I like to call them the portal days where we can really put some energy and some force into making things happen. Just plain and simple. So then just go ahead and ask yourself, am I forcing time or am I flowing with it? And going by this Zokin calendar can definitely help you mirror, okay? Um, or flow, go in the flow, just be a part of all that we are. It's a mirror, it's a teacher, and it's definitely a sacred rhythm or harmony or something like that for conscious living. So y'all make sure you tap in to learning about your Zokin calendar each and every opportunity you have. All right. So here we have our 28-day 28 plasma. Y'all know what I'm talking about, calendar. This is known as the galactic cosmic calendar, okay? Looking at it, it helps us to step out of our artificial time, and which is the Greg and them calendar, and then it brings us into our natural time, okay? It's the rhythm of the moon, how our bodies flow, the body in and of itself, the earth and how it moves and rotates. And then on top of that, our consciousness. It asks the question, how can I expand my joy and love? And the turtle, which is the totem animal, teaches that true power does not always move fast. When you become conscious, when you wake up, when you're woke, conscious, interpersonal, okay, you begin to realize you're not operating on that on the matrix timeline, right? Or in the matrix timeline. You begin to move a little slower in how we process things. It doesn't mean that we're slow, but it means we're not in a hurry to make things happen because we know we are of the natural time. So because it's teaching us how not to always move fast, it's moving with a certain rhythm and an inner knowing. And so this turtle reminds us to just slow down and protect our peace and to carry your home within you, as opposed to thinking that your home needs to be a dwelling place outside of you, right? And also what we have that is rooted in wisdom cannot actually be rushed. This calendar is built on a sacred order, okay, which consists of 13 moons, and each moon has 28 plasmas. So here you see we have 28 plasmas within this cosmic moon, and it's divided into 4 heptads, perfect heptads. Why perfect? Perfect brings us balance, right? Each heptad is carrying a power in and of itself. If you notice, the red heptad initiates view. The white one refines the meditations on what you've initiated, all right? The blue transform the conduct of how we have processed what we've initiated and meditated on or refined. And then the yellow comes back and says, let's go ahead and reap the harvest with some ripening fruit of all that we have put into this 28-day sacred cycle. Each week, each heptad, all right, we say heptad instead of week because heptad is the number 7 and there's nothing weak about what we do. Huh? All right, Ashay? Each heptad moves through 7 radial plasmas, which are what you see at the top of the calendar. They are our daily energies. How I shared with y'all about today's kin and how it's bringing in our energy currents. These are currents that connect us together, connected to the next on top of the next on top of the next plasma through a 7 chakras, through the 7 chakras. All right. That's where we have our 7 radial plasmas, which is Dali, Sealy, Gamma, Cali, Alpha, Limi, Celio, right? The crown chakra, Dali, activates the crown chakra through our thermal force, and it is our target. It's our target plasma. Sealy connects to the root chakra through our flow, how we're flowing. Just imagine the synchronicities, y'all, with the Zocan calendar as well. If you can go back and see this. Gamma, which is what we call Monday now, all right, it opens the third eye chakra through peace and pacification, okay? Pacifying. Kali, which is Tuesday, all right, activates our sacral chakra through catalytic transformation, and Alpha moves through the throat chakra with releasing. Today we're on Celio. However, it's a world bridger plasma, so we if ever the world bridger falls on an Alpha, you know your throat better be at work releasing some stuff, right? Limi clears the solar plexus chakra through purification, and Celio actually grounds through our heart chakra, discharging energy and into completion. So now we focusing on that Celio, which is Friday, the world bridger, carrying the power of surrendering, releasing death, opportunity, and liberation in all that it is that we are in this life, okay? So, what must we let go of so love can expand? What old fears must we dissolve so that our hearts can move freely? Huh? Think about that. Because the galactic calendar actually is teaching us every single plasma with purpose, every chakra holding our wisdom, every heptad with the movements that we make, and every moon with a question to be answered. And then every kin carrying a message for us to follow through with. So then I leave you with asking yourself this question: where are you? Where am I in the cycle? And how can I move with harmony within it? Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. So I'm gonna move to the next slide. We're gonna bring in the creed for our white world bridger, this plasma, and also known as the Hierophant. Okay, you see the shadowy Hierophants behind our God and goddesses and goddess. The creed reads, I am the Hierophant, coded by the white world bridger. 6 is my number, the root of the cube. I am the gates equalizer, restoring balance to all worlds. The sacred order of all dimensions illumines my being. For I am the master of the arts of deathlessness. Deathlessness. Ashe. That all true seekers must come to know. Death is the great interdimensional realm of the galaxy, the storehouse of my wisdom. It is the hidden treasure chest, free from fear. Skilled at the arts of bridging the worlds, I am the great destroyer of illusion, stripping the varnish of conventionalities that civilization overlay. Fathomlessly deep is the extent of my knowledge. I reveal all, but only those who know can see what I reveal. Y'all better get in the know. The rainbow is my crown. Perfect is the order I keep. For to know me is to die to your false self. That's some powerful words right there. Ashe, y'all touch and agree with me on that. All right, let's bring this on in. So now we're going to open the floor for our announcements, taking this to a whole nother level. Y'all see that message on our screen? Go ahead, grab it. We got a lot coming up new, and that's in the announcements. We got some things that are continual that some of you who are new to the space may not know about. It's going to tell you where to go to find out. All right? So let's attune ourselves. Peace and love. I'll be back. Daily awake, I am today. Daily acknowledges the act of God empowering me to breathe.
move, and have my being. Amazing I am shows the wonders of light shining on my face. Healed from afflictions, distractions, and manipulations of this world. Strong I am today as the sun shines, wind blows and rain falls, reminding me to stand each test time. Wise I am today to see the truth at face value and walk with confidence, knowing.
Habitats of weeds, daily supplies. Habitats of weeds, daily supplies.
All right. Yes. I hope y'all governed yourselves. We have preparation for saving the date of the convergence coming up. We have that's going to be during the fall equinox. We have our WISE conference right after that in the winter solstice coming up. Y'all need to save those dates. Make sure you get to the website, RSVP, if you are a business and you want to network with us during the WISE conference. Make sure you RSVP, get your 411 in so we can start with your flyers and announcements and everything for that conference. Even if you want to do a live, a live show and tell of what you do, you need to get in line, get in alignment. Ashe. We have the Bochatelet that's beginning. Our first Bochatelet is going to be, it's a sisterhood brought in under the umbrella of MIMEC. And if you want to be a part of that divine feminine womb power, goddesses, temples, you name it, make sure you tap in to join us in Bochatelet. Our first session is July the 26th. So much gratitude. And then all the other announcements you saw on there, please go make sure y'all are visiting that meta shop. We got some new products coming in. A lot has been sold, but there's still more to come. Ashe, go in and see what we have remaining. Add it to your collection of artifacts blessed to us by our very own Orisha Stone. I believe he is in the space this dawn, and greetings to you, brother Orisha Stone, and also to everyone. I give thanks for everyone and everybody being in space today, showing up for yourselves and showing up for the universe. So now we're going to introduce none other than our very own priestess initiate, moon goddess, Ambrosia, the fifth force oracle, Kin 181. Are you ready to come to the space, moon goddess?
That I am. Peace.
That you are. There you go, sis. I yield the mic. Take us away.
Gratitude. Yes. Peace, wholeness, and divine blessings, everyone. Definitely much love and gratitude. Gratitude to you, Priestess Moot, for, just everything that you do on the scene and behind, keeping us all in alignment and getting us prepared for this session today. I am honored to be here sharing space with all of you. Definitely grateful for High Priestess, um, my aunt, and Baba Wanik and Nepta Harka for setting the stage for us. And I am looking forward to getting into the oracle reading for us on this plasma. So I would love for us to, continue to stay focused, to continue to take notes. Again, get that pen and paper. Y'all should already have it out. But if not, get it out, get some screenshots in and all that good stuff, because we about to get into it. And so let me go ahead and get this up here as we are now going to talk about the cosmic oracle reading of evolution, also known as the collective core readings. I do these as personal readings as well, but for us on this session, we are going to be tapping into the Kinergy as a collective so we can align and harmonize as one. Ashe. And so, before we get into it, I do want to actually, I'm going to save that because we're going to say our affirmations in just a moment here. So let's go ahead and get into the mindset of a synchronaut. We are recognizing and bringing to the forefront of our minds that we are living expressions of the of divinity. And so when we synergize all aspects of our lately I've been calling it our 5 dimensions of self or our 5 self dimensions. When all of these are operating in cohesiveness and in alignment, that's how we can really tap into our creative essence as reflections of the divine creator. And so with the mindset of a synchronaut, that is what I would love for us to focus on as we are closing out this red heptad. Where we've been coming into more knowledge that's shifting the way we perceive and how we're experiencing our this human experience. And so this is going to open us up to enter into the next heptad that we will be beginning on tomorrow. So as we tap into the remembrance of the fact that we are divine expressions, I also encourage us to, as we're doing this, to allow that remembrance to also bring forth our divine purpose, to awaken our soul's purpose. Like we all know in our hearts that we're meant to create something beautiful that we can all experience and, shift some things. And so when we connect to that, that is what's going to help us to consciously create, to fulfill our soul's mission in all spaces of time. And so to get into this frequency, we already know and I love what Priestess Moot said earlier today. And I know Brother Akil has expressed this as well. When we're on these sessions, the kin of the plasma, Priestess Moot, the way she worded it, she said the energy guiding us. So this energy is guiding the way that we show up in our specialty. And so this is why I, encourage us to say our personal affirmations, verbally speak it out loud, because that's when you can really feel the vibrations of the words coming through. It's different than us just saying it in our minds. So I want to encourage us to say it out loud, and we're going to do it in this format. We're going to say as a living expression of, then you're going to say your kin number, its name, and then move into your signature affirmation. Ashe? Y'all ready? Y'all got your kin affirmations out? You got it in your mind? All right, so we're about to do this. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's start by actually taking a deep breath in through our nose, filling up our lungs,
so that we can calm our bodies, get our minds prepared, and then we're going to exhale slowly and allow yourself to come back to your natural breathing pattern. And let's go ahead and begin stating our affirmations. As a living expression of Kin 181, the red crystal dragon, I dedicate in order to nurture, universalizing being. I seal the input of birth with the crystal tone of cooperation. I am guided by the power of space. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe-yo. All right. So, as always, pay attention to what stood out. Pay attention to what feelings, thoughts, or energies that was flowing through your body. And allow yourself to hone in on that aspect of your expression as we align ourselves to the energy that's guiding us on this plasma. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe-yo. I know for me, as I was stating mine, cooperation, like I just play around with the words. Normally we say cooperation, but if we slow ourselves down, it's cooperating. So if we cooperate within all faculties or the dimensions of self, that puts us in a position to cooperate with one another. Ashe. And so the Destiny Kin Oracle provides us with the template to look at the different aspects of our 5D self. This is one of the ways that we can view ourselves as multidimensional beings. And when we align and bring all of those into that synergy, that energy in itself radiates through our being and throughout the different spaces that we explore and interact with each other in. Ashe. And so we have the Oracle board here that shows us the basic template for all of the 20 archetypes. And because we are on the White World Bridger, I put it in the chat, but I want to verbally shout out Priestess Kali for her to say happy galactic return to her. She is Kin 206, and shout out to all of the Kin 206s that may be in the space or may be tapping in. So definitely want to send out love to her and all of you. And so let's, when we look at the Destiny Oracle for the World Bridger, Priestess Moot did share about the different archetypes that are a part of the Oracle for the World Bridger. And so all of the World Bridgers have the Red Skywalker, the Yellow Warrior, and the Blue Eagle that's a part of this Oracle. Now, what is unique about each of the World Bridgers, or one of the things that makes them unique, is based on the galactic tone that it's vibrating in. So Kin 206 is holding that spectral tone, which is where we see the 2 bars and that 1 dot representing the 11th frequency, and giving us the World Bridger, or again, the white spectral World Bridger, as the spirit guide for this particular plasma. And so, again, basically I'm saying that depending on the galactic tone of the archetypes will determine which of the archetypes will be sitting in the spirit guide position of the Destiny Oracle. And so when we take a closer look and go into like a deep, I want to get out the habit of saying break down. So I'm playing around with that. So let's explore the different aspects of the white spectral world bridger based on the wave spell and the name in itself. And so I look at the wave spells as missions. So our mission right now, or this part of our evolutionary mission, is to tap into the power of our divine intelligence. That's our ability to ask questions. And through asking questions, we become more fearless. Okay. Fearless. We fear less when we have more clarity on what we have questions about. And so as we come into the clarity, it helps us to beautify the way that we navigate through, coming into that fearlessness of expressing our divinity. We are divine beings. So, we got to ask some questions and explore ourselves so that we, can open up and release the fears. Ashe? And so, as we look at the aspects of the white spectral world bridger, each part holds significance. So, just like with the white heptads, or with the heptads, the white kins, they deal with refinement. So we're refining the way that we meditate or the way that we think about the knowledge that we came into throughout this heptad. Doing it by being unpretentious. That means, allowing our spirit to give us the answers and not so much allowing the ego to interfere. Ooh, you hear that? To interfere. Don't let the ego bring in fears from you staying in your divine alignment. And so that's what we do on the white can. We go through a refinement period to make sure that we continue to remain in alignment with divinity, our divine nature. And so with the world bridger, we heard what its archetype represents through the hierophant. I had to do some exploring to understand the difference of what the hierophant brings. And from what I've studied or looked into, the hierophant is the one that like stores the knowledge. It basically presents us with the different teachings. It interprets and break down like sacred mysteries and spiritual truths. And so this is another way where that death comes in to say, okay, let's get into this true spirit. Let's let go of the ego aspect and get into the true spirit, because that's what's going to actually bring balance and equalize our opportunities to continue moving in that divine alignment. So through the spectrotome, we dissolve into spirit and dissolve into spirit so that we can liberate and release the essence of our true spirit. And so the remix affirmation of this, it says, I dissolve divine intelligence. When we think about dissolving, just think of it as like the same way if you're mixing up lemonade or something, or if you're putting sugar in water. That sugar is going to become one with the water. So it's the same thing with us. We're becoming one with the divine intelligence flowing through us in order to equalize the elegance. So remember, we're tapping into our divinity. So we want to get into the habit of bringing forth that equality or that balance so that we can really move in the elegance of the fact that we're divine beings. So that through having this opportunity, or through us releasing the opportunity. So every day, every moment, we have the opportunity to walk in our divinity. Ashe. And so we're being guided by the power of death. That's us recognizing like the same things Priestess Moot was talking about, recognizing what to release and let go of so we can continue being in our divine frequencies. And so now this brings us to the actual oracle reading. These oracle readings can serve as a compass and also as a calibration tool for us to stay in alignment. And so the question that we're going to be focusing on with this is, how do I release and let go? And so the world bridger, or as we focus on what the white spectral world bridger symbolizes, it's telling us to focus on the opportunities we want to release. So it can be just from, we can always start from who we are being. What opportunity, what character do you have the opportunity to be and show up as? When we look into our heart space and be honest with ourselves, what are we here to do? What do we have the opportunity to do? One of the biggest things is we are amazing creators. Okay. And so as we stay focused in this and allow ourselves to be guided in that direction, the goal is to liberate it, to be free, to free our spirits to show up as the opportunities that we intend to release or to express through equalizing the depth. And so that depth is talking about, recognizing what we need to surrender and let go of. Okay, so the true opportunity can come through. And so I want you to keep in mind that the end goal of us tapping into this Kinergy on this plasma is also to model that fearlessness, to model what it's like to ask divine intelligent questions, or ask the divine intelligence within us questions, so we can get more clarity, to help us to navigate in harmony with all of the energy flowing within us as well as around us, so that we can give birth to the actual opportunities that we want to, or that we intend to express. Ashe. All right, so we can start by looking at the physical kin, I'm gonna start saying the physical kin. That which we have is the red spectral skywalker over on the right side, and this position represents our physical environment, also our physical beingness. So when we reflect and look at, who we are being and the different spaces that we explore, the goal is to release that wakefulness. That means to stay present at all times, like always be present. Like, recognize the character that you are showing up as, and in what environments you're showing up as this character in. And because that's what's going to help us to recognize what we need to release, and also what opportunities we want to create in those different spaces. And so that wakefulness is really just being present in the fact that you are a divine expression of divinity. Okay. And so we want to look at the way we're navigating through these different spaces as such. And so next, we're going to look at the emotional body. The emotional kin down here is what's going to, this is in a position of what is motivating us, giving us that energetic fuel to take actions in releasing these opportunities. So we have the blue electric eagle that sits here, that's encouraging us to bond with our mind, or bond the opportunity that we want to release with our mind. So that's bringing ourselves, it's just like with bonding with anything, it's like even bonding with your child. What does that mean? That means like getting connected, seeing that alignment, and, just creating a relationship with, with your child or with another person. We also have the opportunity to do that with our minds. So the same way, we want to bond and build a relationship with our mind, connect the dots, so that we can create the vision. So as we continue to explore these different spaces by being present and wakeful and, observing ourselves and our environments, we start to bond with the way that we're thinking about these, about it, right? So this starts to create this vision for us, right? So, for example, say you, let me use myself for example. All right, so the opportunity that I have in mind for myself is to take the way I do these oracle readings to the next level of us moving in the practice of it, not just holding it in our mindsets and just knowing what it means, like, really applying it. So for me, how I would use this is, okay, let me look at myself. How am I applying it? How am I walking in my divinity to apply this, right? So then when I go into different spaces, am I applying this for myself in whatever spaces that I enter, or in whatever spaces that I'm exploring? So that brings in that wakefulness. And so through that wakefulness, I start to get a vision like, oh, I could do it like this. I could do it like that, right? These visions start to form, which I can, see different ways that I can, see the opportunities of, spreading that out to other people. You know what I'm saying? So, when we bond with our mindset, these visions start to show up for us. Okay. And so then when we look at the mental body, where we have the yellow spectral warrior, the mental body position is represents the challenges. Being able to see the gift that's on the other side of the challenge, right? So we have the white spectral warrior here, that's going to help us strengthen our mindset to know that on the other side of this challenge, there is a gift. And so the warrior is saying, okay, now release the fearlessness. Now, again, how do we release the fearlessness? Ask questions. We got to keep asking questions. So, like, for example, going back to the example that I used, now, starting with self, if I notice that, there's an aspect of me saying, oh, yeah, you could use these oracle readings to do X, Y, and Z to, tap into your whole state of being, right? All right. So what fears might I have that may prevent me from doing that myself, right? And that will awaken or activate those visions within me to see that, okay, maybe other people may be experiencing it in this type of way, or I could use that same thing to see how exactly other people are experiencing it, so that I can, shift the frequency out of the fear mode of it. So if I'm operating from fearlessness, I'm in a better position to inspire other people to operate in their fearlessness as well, through us asking these questions. And so when we look at the challenges that we're experiencing when it comes to these different opportunities that we want to release and let go and, put out there, those questions is going to show us the path and show us what route to take in actually doing it. Okay. And I love what priest initiate Ken 221 mentioned. He just said fearless, intelligent questions. Okay. So be fearless in asking the questions that you need to create the opportunities that you intend to release. And so that collectively, when we put all of this together, again, it brings us back to modeling the fearlessness so that we can endure the process of giving birth to the opportunities that we intend to create and experience. And so with that, I will go ahead and conclude this oracle reading. Definitely feel free to share any feedback, any insights that you receive from this oracle reading based on, what you may be personally experiencing. And, just tap into that fearlessness and release the opportunities that you intend from your heart and soul. Ashe. And so with that, I love y'all. I'm definitely about to be blowing up the chat, I feel like. Because I know when High Priestess get up on here, she's gonna take things to a whole nother level with the kin that we're tapping in today. So with that, I love y'all. Stay peace, be light, and much love and gratitude to all of you. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, comments, and all that good stuff. So I love y'all. Peace.
Ashe. Oh, whew. Y'all, she did. She dropped them gems, y'all. So give thanks to Moon Goddess Ambrosia, our oracle reader, for coming in and breaking down that oracle of this plasma, the white spectral world bridger. Much gratitude, much gratitude, much gratitude. And definitely giving thanks to all of us in the space who show up for being a part of what we're doing here in MIMEC to fulfill that mission. Definitely giving thanks to High Priestess Ma'at Makaru, Amen, for opening space, for all of us to come through here and share and show and be all that we incarnated to be, to Ken 38, Baba Akil. Okay, y'all, him and his leave of absence. I want to call it. But I'm looking forward to you coming back, brother. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Giving you your space and your time to do all that it is that you're doing for you and yours. But definitely your voice is missed. Your divine masculine is definitely missed in this space. Ashe, ashe. So we're gonna keep on moving, keep on moving, and introduce to each and every one of us none other than High Priestess Ma'ayim Makaru Amen, to bring forth our cosmic knowledge and spiritual wisdom of this plasma's question. And so we're gonna go ahead and intro her into this space. Y'all give it up for her in the chat. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on till the break of dawn to say a lot about High Priestess, but I'm gonna lay it low this time. I am. I'm gonna lay it low. So High Priestess, are you ready to bring it in the space? I pray you are. I know you are. I think I can see that you are. Yes, I reflect and I pulse on the fact that you are ready. Y'all, come on, let's do this.
The high priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. The high priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. It's time we come together to raise our consciousness. Amen. The high priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. Amen. Amen. The high priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. Amen. It's time we come together to raise our consciousness.
All right, great dawning, great dawning, great dawning, everyone. Am I being heard? I think I am.
Yes, you are. Take it away.
All right, all right. So greetings and welcome again, everyone, to our Aligning with the Cycles session. Y'all know I'm already fired up, right? You already know I'm fired up. So, and excited, right? I forgot, I gotta say excited, always excited, right? I'm just, I give thanks, Priestess Mutma Atnefer Habibullah. The pastor said a word this morning, right? She was going in, wasn't she? Right? So I really, really appreciate everything that she does, how she dotes over the order in Melanated Immortals. So we definitely have a very honor to have her and all of you here to be with us. And then also Moon Goddess Ambrosia, excellent, excellent, excellent oracle reading. I'm like, you know what? We could just leave it right there, right? We could just, they were, man, come on now. They brought it in. So, yeah, y'all. So how everybody doing? How y'all doing? I just be excited, man. I'm looking forward to being able to have these sessions at our location. We just gonna gather everyone up and, be live stream, but also have a studio audience. Always you can feel the energy and the vibration. That's why we love coming together every on the solstice and equinox, so we could come together and feel those frequencies just popping off, jumping off of each other, and just really, really getting into it. You can, what's interesting, you can see the frequency of the speaker or the person who's talking. And I'm not just talking about people who present, everyone gets to speak, right? Everybody gets a chance to get into their frequency, and you can just kind of see how they get it. Is really, really dope, really dope. So, all right. let's get into it. Let's get into it, right? So, as we heard, right? Oh, girl, see, look. Okay, yeah, so I didn't look at the slides first. Okay, y'all already know I'm saying I'm gonna get in trouble. But anyway, what I like is, wait a minute. I have a computer now, so I can change the slides, but I like the question. She put the question up there. That's pretty dope. There you go. But this is what we're gonna be talking about. Well, what opportunities does cosmic intelligence release? Well, let's find out, right? Let's find out. All right. So, as you heard, we are here. We are in this wave spell of the Yellow Warrior. And any new folks? I know I wasn't. I was in earshot, but I wasn't necessarily at my computer to look in the chat earlier. But if we have any new folks, what I want to make sure of, and I know a bunch of you sent emails on the last session, and we're gonna get to them emails, right? Because y'all gonna be like, I sent an email, ain't nobody saying nothing, right? But we gonna do it for real. We gonna answer those emails. So, but if you're new, definitely shout yourself out in the chat so we can welcome you. We will on the next within the next heptad, we will have an orientation and a welcome for those that have been in and around MIMEC for what is it? What did we say? 6 months or less, or maybe a year or less. Definitely you want to come, because there may be some things that you don't know yet, right? You may hang out just in one session. You might just be on melanin frequency, or you might just be on aligning with the cycles, and then don't know the whole the whole of MIMEC. And so we're going to introduce you to that and get you acclimated to everything and answer some of your questions, right? And so hopefully at the end of this session, we may even have some opportunities to answer questions as well, right? So let's get into it. As we know, thank you, Sister, yeah, a year or less. Okay. As we know, oh, I gotta shout out Brother Akil. That's right, we do miss it. We miss you. That masculine energy, right? All right, I know the ladies be up in here. We be doing our thing, but definitely got to shout out to our regular host for Aligning with the Cycles, which is Ken 38, Brother Akil, and I see you in the chat. All right, but enjoy. All right, so here we go. We are here, as we heard, in this wave spell of the Yellow Warrior. And as we know, the warrior is called the Pathfinder. I like to call it the Journey Finder, right? Because we know that there's some energy behind that word path, which means struggle, right? And sometimes it's been that, right? It's been that, right? But so the Journey Finder, right? And so as we know that this warrior finds the journey in ways that have not already been constructed, right? And how many of us feel like, that's what we be doing? Now, in order to do that, right, you got to go on a quest, right? And you got to use some ions, right? Some quest ions. Ask some questions, right? Fearlessly. So that's what the warrior does. That's why it is called cosmic intelligence, right? Because there are things, it makes the unknown known, the unaware aware, the unconscious conscious, so that we can literally express it, right? That's the simplest way that I can explain the way, my perspective of how the warrior, why the warrior is cosmic intelligence, right? Because it goes into these different journeys, these different pathways that have not been explored, and makes them available, right? For our intelligence, for our intellect. So now it's in our waking consciousness, right? So, and if you want to know more about that, definitely you may have to go back to the last Aligning with Cycles, look at the replay, make sure you like and share and subscribe, right? I think I got it right. I think I saw Arisha Stone in the comments, right? So he on here, right? And then, you know, I got on my Arisha Stones, right? I say, because he gonna get y'all about your thumb chakra, right? So definitely with that, as we talk about this, so if you go back to the last session, right? You go back to the last session, you'll hear a little bit more about the warrior and how we started this wave spell and what it's all about. The reason I'm saying that is because as we go through each and every archetype in this wave spell has a vibration of that. So you need to understand that part first. What is this wave spell doing? Right? It's cosmic intelligence. So every archetype in this wave spell has a vibration, right? That builds that frequency or emanates that frequency, right? And so as we talk about each of these archetypes, we also have to talk about it in reference to its position. And this is one of the things that we talk about in our 13 tones class, right? We get the what we call our one-liners, right? We have several of them, but one of the one-liners is the position you are in your wave spell. And only, this is the thing. Now, this is, so we talk, okay, so we're in this phase of unifying. We're in this phase of coming out of the program that puts us at war, that puts us at deficit, defense, right, in conflict. And the first places that we're going to find that is within our own thoughts, right? If you're in conflict with somebody else, or you always find yourself in conflict, right? Then that conflict, you're going to find that you have those conflicts internally. We all do, right? And so as oh yeah, I forgot about that, brother Hawkeye. Yeah, shout out. welcome, the magnetic warrior himself. I'll say. So as we go through these cycles, and we are redefining our primary stance, our primary foundation of operation, recognizing again that we are our primary. What's primary is our natural frequency that comes from source, or as source, right? In the image of, or the image as source. So we are shifting now from a secondary perspective to a primary perspective. And so as we go through these cycles, as we go through this wave spell of cosmic intelligence, right, we're keeping that in mind. We're keeping that in mind as we talk about the energies and the vibrations of each of these archetypes, right? So let's look into this a little further, right? Because we're going to talk about what we heard Priestess Moot breaking down the red, white, the blue, black, and the yellow, right? So we know that yellow is a finisher, right? So what is the cycle finishing? What is it completing? So I love the way that Priestess Moot went through the Zoken and broke that down and gave us some examples of how these things work, right? So definitely, if you didn't hear that, I ain't gonna repeat it. I don't think I can repeat it the way she said it. I had to repeat it the way I said it, right? But it was it was perfect in the way that she put it, right? So, but if you look over on the far right-hand side, that's Zokin, right? This is what we're talking about. And this on these sessions, right? We're talking about cycles within cycles within cycles, right? So we're talking about this 260 day Earth rate rotation or plasma cycle, right? Which is called the sacred cycle, right? Why is it a sacred cycle? Because it's our incarnation cycle. It's approximately 9 months. That's how long it takes Source to create itself in the image as the goddess, as the creator, as the divine being on earth, right? And each one of us have that claim. The uniqueness comes in the variety of the 260 expressions that we come in, right? So what we teach is that, you know, you want to, you really want to understand how you landed here galactically. And this cosmology, this modern translation, right, helps you to really understand that. Why? Because it goes inside the program. It goes inside that program of war, conflict, deficit, right? Goes into that and pulls it out. So you can take your natural stance, understanding that you are a species of the creator. And so now we have to really look at, I always ask this question, right? What do we do as a species? We know what we've been programmed to do: fight, feel less than, be in conflict, and be at war. But if that didn't exist, then what will we do? What will we do naturally from a point, and we're going to talk about this on this plasma. What if everything was at equilibrium, neutralized? What if we brought death to that false self? What would it release? You see? Release, the word release literally means to loosen, or less means to loosen. So when we release, we're loosening it again, right? But we want it just to be loose, period. Right? So we're speaking from being at equilibrium, not being in trauma, karma, drama. Not being in conflict, at war, trying to fix something, trying to fix ourselves, trying to do something to get something. Y'all know what I mean? That just constant, every rising, right? At a certain point, think about what happens in the rising, right? In the rising, if you catch it, you're usually you're in equilibrium. You're neutral. You're literally neutral in the rising. Until that first thought comes in. But right when you are, just coming to or whatever, you don't have any thoughts. That's deathlessness. Right? A few years back, I had everybody practice, and I think I've probably done it a few times, but a few years back, when we were going through the World Bridger wave spell, I had everybody hold their breath. I had everybody think about, and you can do it as I'm speaking, right? Something that they need to deal with, a problem, a situation, a circumstance, right? And then hold your breath. And I don't mean hold it like, you know, I'm kind of holding my breath right now while I'm talking, but I mean like you're going underwater, right? And try to think about that problem, right? If you continue to hold on to that problem, it's going to make you release your breath, right? But if you continue to hold your breath, you're not thinking about that. You, as they say, you can't take it with you. You can't take your trauma with you. It don't go with you into deathlessness, right? Now, like, you know, some people, yep, I say, yep, I see y'all in the chat, right? So that tells you where you are. So once you, if you loosen, right, your hold, like I said, what have we been talking about? One of the ways in order to not be in conflict, judgment, at war with your own self, right, is to just decide that you're not going to be limited by it, right? Because when you take that, when you can breathe again, you're going to, you know, you might bring back, those thoughts may come back. That's okay. This is proof that you're not limited by it. If you practice this enough, right? We call it the breath of deathlessness, right? That's what we were calling it, right? If you practice it enough, you know what you can think about while you holding your breath? The truth about who you are. It comes. You could say your signature. You can say your purpose. And guess what else you can do? You can ask questions in that state. You can. You'll get the truth. It's a great divining method. I know Richard Stone gonna give me, you like, you over here getting ritual. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am. I got both. So yes, it's a great divining method. Holding your breath and asking questions. And isn't that what we talk about today? Well, we talk about King 206, right? Yes. And I love it because as we heard, you know, we have a priestess, Kali, Anut Heteru Polda Kimi, who is Kin 206. And it's really interesting as I'm speaking about this, you know, that's how she operates. Right? Just be quiet, you know, whatever, but ask her a question. She'll tell you the truth. She not always out here talking like me. I be, me and Priestess, we be, you know, we talk like this. Nope, not her. Ask her a question though. She get right to the point. Come on, TAF, right? So here we are. Let me go back to where we were, right? We were talking about the Zokin. We're talking about how long it takes to come in at source, right? So now we are one of these expressions at source. That is our species. And we operate in the primary function and roles of source. And here is a way, right? I don't think that is limited to 260 expressions, right? But this is a great place to get started. right? And so whichever one we come in, it's a great way to then start to operate, right, as that species. So how does each and every one of these 260 expressions operate on Earth? Because that's the point, right? The point is to be yourself as yourself everywhere, no matter what dimension you're doing it in, right? In your body, all your cells are you too. It took 260, or approximately 260 plasmas to be the physical, to present the physical image of you. And like I said, it don't make no sense to me to operate one in a space of that this is our lower form, right? I say slower. It allows me to accept my physicality, right? I have the same consciousness. If everyone, if we're, I remember when I was doing some of my training, in my awakening, they used to call us top heavy, right? When I was learning about chakras, right? Because everyone wanted to, be associated with the, what the so-called higher chakras. But chakras don't operate in straight lines, right? That's just a way, that's a perspective based on 2 dimensions. I've been yelling this on the top of my lungs for a long time, right? Everybody kicking rocks at the 3rd dimension, and I don't think we really operate in it. I think we operate in 2, up, down, left, right, side to side, back, forth, where you have to make a choice, which means you judge everything by those limits. I'm not saying you listen, yeah, sometimes you have to make a decision, right? In the decision of judgment, right? But if you have 3 dimensions, one that's neutral, just like the atom, say this all the time, right? Then you can make a better decision. I'm not saying, again, always what I say is you're not limited to whatever it is. That's part of being in the species of a creator. You get to create, and especially in this world, my perspective of what the 3rd dimension is, of how it was originally designed, it's just perspectives, right? That it was designed for us to feel ourselves. We were in so much joy, so much ecstasy, love, that we wanted to touch it. So we had to slow it down, define it, create a form. We had to magnetize it, right? Then look and see how we could make sure it was stabilized, because there would be challenges. Then we had to activate it and bond with it, put it to a service, right? Then define and form, define the form and measure it. Say, oh, what if we had an eye over here? Well, no, we'd be a fish or something. We said, hey, no, our perfect formation is these, having the parts of the brain come out, right? And really shielding our first eye, right? So we defined our form. Then we empowered it, right? Then we started to organize all of our physicalities, right? What environment most supports this formation, right? And if y'all following me, I'm talking about the tones, right? Then we brought it into resonance and attuning with that. You know, as they say in what's in the Bible, on the seventh day we rested. On the eighth day, we went back and said, listen, woo, we look good, don't we? All right, let's do some more. Let's bring integrity to this whole dimension. We got to create a whole dimension about this. Right? That's our eighth tone, right? Just so you follow me. Stay with me. We got to create a whole dimension and make it sustainable. And then now we can set some intentions. We're going to move towards it and realize what we created. It's, oh my God, this is perfect. We can produce from here. Wow. I love it. Right? And then if secondaries come up, guess what? It don't matter because it's perfect. We can dissolve them things and keep liberating. We're not going to even look at them as if it's something that can stop the creation. We're going to stay liberated. We're going to keep releasing our primary frequency. Right? And then we're going to solidify it with the universe of us all. Right? With the cooperation of the universe of us all. That's what we're going to do. And then finally, if we want to, we done went through this whole stage of creation. We're now going, this is our indoor. Right? We can do anything. We can just transcend this and then go to the next level. Those are the 13 tones of creation. Right? Well, we can feel ourselves. We can feel this creation of us in any dimension, always primary, never secondary. Right? So let's get into it, right? Y'all all right? I would play that back in 13 tones. Right? I don't know if I can say it again. So now, as we go through these cycles, right? Let's talk about these frequencies in which we are operating in, right? So if we, in this cycle, and let me go back here, right? You see where we are, this 4 is lit up because that's where we are, right? In this 4th cycle. So let's show you this in a little more detail, right? We call this group evolutionary intelligence because it's evolutionary. We evolve each time we go through these cycles. Right? I was talking about those chakras and how people want to be associated with the upper chakras and not the so-called lower chakras. Well, if you look at all of what our ancestors left, what did they always show? A serpent eating, so-called eating its own tail. The crown and the root are connected. If you spend your whole life saying, oh, I'm so, you know, I'm these low frequency, low dimensional, like, you know, all these terms. And listen, I'm only repeating myself from my past, right? I don't speak about it like that now, but I have in the past, right? Then what happens is sometimes those same people who are saying those things, a lot of times have problems with bringing things to fruition in this world, with producing, with materializing, right? Because they don't realize that the two are connected. Here's the most obvious reason. Everybody that's operating in the third dimension in these formations as the creators, how did we get here? I don't see nothing wrong. Right? How do we get here? I don't want to see it. Well, how do we get here? Through our producing organs. Everybody. It must be connected to the cosmos. And of course, if you come into our womb evolution technique, we'll teach you a little bit more about that. We'll show you some more about how those producing organs, right, are connected to the cosmos. They have to be, to bring in a divine entity such as yourself, a goddess, a god such as yourself, a creator on earth such as yourself. Those producing organs are sacred AF, right? Not scared, sacred, divine. They are divinity dominant. We're not using them like that anymore. But every time, we go through these cycles, we evolve. That's what creators do. We just talked about them 13 tones. How can you keep going through them 13 tones and every time you're not creating something new? That's how the feminine body works. And 13 tones, right? It takes 13 earth rotations for an egg to mature. And whatever that egg is on that 14th day, right? That's what it is. If it's fertilized, then boom, one of us. If it's not, then we have a cycle for that too. It's called a supernova, which is power within itself, right? Again, you want your young women your young girls who are having their cycles 8, 9, 10, right? 11. Definitely bring them into our womb evolution technique or our get the book, Umi the Creator. Gives them something else to do with their producing organs. And same thing with the women. It gives us something else to do with our producing organs. That is one mode, not the mode. There's power in the universe. We walking around with the universe. We're walking around with what we created as the creator. Right? So every time we go, so if we just change our minds, I know we've been beat down. I know it's been some terrible, horrible things that has happened to a lot of people. I talk to them every day. A lot of people in pain and suffering physically, mentally, spiritually. Well, I don't even think you can suffer spiritually, but mentally, right? That disrupts the access to the spirit. Right? But there's pain and suffering. And we've been told that that's where you start. You have to build yourself up to divinity. Right? And so you work hard, right? As we say, I work hard. And that's a true statement, right? I'm not saying that in disrespect, which just means not looking back at it. Right? I'm not saying that in disrespect. Right? I'm saying that we have, but perhaps we may not have to, I'm saying change the perspective of how that work goes. Right? It may not be as hard as we think because our primary frequencies, the creator frequencies, the divine frequencies, may be left untouched. And they are more dominant than deficit, right? Purpose is more powerful than problems. We just have to change our mind. Now let's talk about this, right? So this warrior got me in here doing all this talking. Okay, so come on now. Sometimes it's hard being the speaker too, right? It's just me talking. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, so we're here in evolutionary intelligence, and we started with this red earth wave spell, which is the wave spell, or perspective of it is that it's the wave spell of evolution, or navigating evolution, the wave spell of synchronicity, right? Or AKA go time, right? That gets refined through the heart. Once we evolve, we have to put it into our heart, right? The heart is, let's go in the chakras, right? They call the heart the seat of the soul. It's the center space, right? 3 chakras, if we look at it in a straight line. 3, I'm going to say physical chakras, and then 3 mental, emotional, or mental and spiritual chakras above, right? All right, if we look at it in a linear fashion. And then the heart is the center that brings all of those frequencies together. And so every time you evolve, it got to go into the heart. So the heart can coordinate it. It's coordinated. So we go into a weighing of the heart. We go into Ma'at. Ma'at is all of the frequencies of the universe, the cosmos. Everything is made up of those things. And it's how we define it, right? And so the weighing of the heart said, hey, is this in this evolution? Is it in your heart? Right? Then, right? Then we transform it through abundance. Because see, once we have it in our heart and we say, ooh, all right. Right? Anytime you're in a space, here goes something else, right? Anytime you're in a space where you are confused, you don't know, you're angry, what do? What do they say? Breathe, right? Breathe. And if you think about it, you're breathing in that heart space. It calms you down. It brings you into balance. It brings you into the hall of Ma'at, where you can see, where you can now weigh the spirit against your heart. I say, okay, all right, I got it. Let me coordinate this, right? Because once it's there, then now you can go into abundance. Now you can put in, when you make that decision, right? You can put it in, right, to the dream. It becomes intuition. You get intuition. You know what to do when you're calm, when you have balance. And then that's how we transform this evolution as we go into this blue black night wave spell. Right? Start putting in the Akasha. Who else get to put in the Akasha except the creator on earth? Think about it. Who else gets to do it? Dolphins don't get to put it in. Birds, trees. We do. And we can shift things. It's up to us. Listen, as they say, we've been hoodwinked, we've been bamboozled. This is a playground. It harmonizes to the frequencies of the creator on earth, which is one and all of us. It's the universe of us all. Right? We get to put it in real time and transform the evolution, culminating into this wave spell of the warrior that finishes off the cycle of evolution through intelligence, right? So we just talked about that, right? So let's go into it, right? So we are here on Kin 206, the white spectral world bridger that says, we dissolve in order to equalize, releasing opportunity. We seal the store of death with the spectral tone of liberation, and we are guided by our own power doubled. Right? I say, and I say, oh. And so this frequency in this wave spell of the yellow warrior, right, holds the position, right? Remember, we talked about this. Each and every one of these archetypes in this wave spell have a vibration of the warrior. They're building up the energy of the yellow warrior, who is cosmic intelligence, right? Can go on any quest fearlessly. Why? Because it's finishing evolution, right? It's the finisher of evolution. Okay, like if you don't get what I'm saying, that's why I'm saying that about that, right? We started with evolution. We went into the heart. We transformed our intuition, and now we on this quest with no fear, because we weighed our heart. We already went. We synchronized everything. We weighed our hearts. We know where we at. We brought it into our intuition so strong and so abundantly that we literally can put it in to the Akasha. We said, go and write that down. We made a decision about it. Right? Now we're going into the warrior. Now we're in intelligence. We're in our intellect, right? All of these archetypes in this wave spell have a vibration, have a frequency that. On this one, we are here on Kin 206. Now, before I go into Kin 206, I want to go back to where we were on the last plasma, which was 205, right? Why am I doing that, right? Because red, white, blue, black, yellow. Red initiates. So what initiated yesterday was the perfection of our life force, right? Kin 205. All right, let me read that. It says, I perfect in order to survive. And so, you know what my perspective of that word is, the true etymology of the word is super vital. So we perfected our super vitality. Just talked about, if you look at it differently, if you change the perspective of being a divine being on earth, being one of the attributes of the creator, you have perfect vitality. It's even super, right? Which produces instinct, not instincts to get out of danger. What if danger want to get out of the way of you? Because you the creator, right? Sometimes, listen, sometimes when I'm talking to whatever, right? I be like, look, I'm gonna need some assistance with this. And you better help me. I'm telling you for real though. This is real talk in the spiritual realm, right? You better help me, because what's gonna happen when I remember? Right? I might not know it in my conscious mind, but when I do know it in my conscious mind, you know you're gonna be in trouble, right? And I'm not talking about people. I do not put energy out on people, on one of us. Because if I'm doing that, then I'm doing it to me. Right? I'm talking about energies. right? Principalities, as they say, right? That's what I be talking to like that. Principalities, right? Move this shit out my way. Don't let me remember, put you in an abyss somewhere, right? So producing instinct, giving us back the freedom, the instinct of being a divine being on earth. The goddess, the creators, divine entity, gods, whatever we call ourselves, infinite ones on earth, right? Producing those instincts now, right? This is a frequency of divine intelligence, a frequency of this quest that we're on. That's fearless. That's why I said that's how I be talking, right? Pulling in, channeling 205 to principalities, to all this invisible stuff that they say is feeding off of our energy, our fear. Right? I'm not afraid of that. I wish it. Listen, let me tell you something. Like soon, you know, my daughter, she might say, Mom, I feel like, I said, really? Oh, let me tap in for a second. What is doing what to you? Oh, scaring you? Oh, give me a second, baby. I go in. I channel my 205. I'm super vital in every dimension. Right? Producing instinct. This is all of us, not just me, right? Let me be clear. I'm not saying me. All of us, right? I'm just speaking to. Producing instinct. We seal the store of life force. We remember the life force of a divine being on earth with the planetary tone of manifestation, which means we can bring it into fruition. Right? Time, place, date, space. Doesn't matter, right? And oh, look at that. And we're guided by the power of space. We're guided by our destiny. I was just saying this. We're guided by our destiny on earth. So now, if we build that frequency, that's what activated these last four archetypes, bringing us to kin 206. Right? Who says we dissolve in order to equalize? Right? Dissolving what? The fear of being on a quest ion. It's already been dissolved because we perfected it on 205. I'm refining this. Let me show you how to refine. That's what the world would say. Oh, okay, I got it from here. I got it from here. This is what Priest Kylie, right? We dissolve. Everything has been dissolved. So we can bring balance, or excuse me, we can bring it into neutrality. Bring it to that 0 point, deathlessness. Right? And release the opportunities of being in your right mind. The mind of the creator on earth. What opportunities do you have as the creator on earth, as a divine being, as an infinite being, as an immortal? How about a melanated immortal, right? Release those opportunities. Right? Sealing in the store of death. Now let's go into it. Let me go into it. I wanted to show you that. Okay, right? Because I forgot I had this, right? Okay. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay. Right? We dissolve, right? We dissolve. All fear has been dissolved because we are in our divine intellect, right? That's what I just said. Right? We don't have no fear no more because we know who we are, right? We dissolve in order to equalize, bringing into neutrality, right? Releasing the opportunities, right? The opportunities, like I said, of being in our right mind, in the correct frequency, not in war, not in conflict, deficit, defense, and conflict. And the best place to deal with those is within ourselves. Even if you know you're right about something, go into yourself, say, you know what, why do I feel like I'm right about this? I know I'm right, but let me see. Why am I right? You don't be limited by your judgments. You know, sometimes when I'm speaking with folks, I mean, it's just real. Sometimes it's easier to identify, right, this in others. But here's what I do after, because it's easy, right? I talk to people almost all day, every day, right? If I identify it in somebody else, I go back and look at me too, right? And so, right? And again, everything is happening at once. So even though I can sit up here and say, it's in my past, right? I want to make sure I stay in my right mind so that I can release the opportunities, loosen them up. I have more opportunities now because I'm not in resistance to everything all day, every day. Oh my God, I remember that. I remember being so intense, walking around with just all this, you know, I wish you would. Ready, you know, just every moment. I remember what it feels like, right? That's what this world bridge is, Ken 206, you know. Here we go on the next slide, right? We seal the store of death, remembering that if I go into deathlessness, it's not there. You can't take it with you. The world bridger, it said, look, you're immortal. You can't take that with you. That's only the stuff that you create as you breathe it into your experience. But when you stop breathing that way, right? It's kind of like that in the Matrix, right? The first one, when they would Morpheus was teaching Neo to fight. He said, "You think that's air that you're breathing in this place?" Right? We got to get in our right mind. It releases opportunities that you would never, that we've been in resistance to because we so stuck in our judgments. Again, I'm not telling you not to have them. I'm saying don't be limited by them. That's all. There's always more. The world bridger bridges all those worlds, right? Seal the sword of death, right? With the spectral tone of liberation, right? So when we are liberated, we have the freedom to operate as a whole being, known and unknown. What did we say in the beginning about the warrior? Right? The warrior goes on those journeys, those quests, fearlessly to bring back the stuff that's unknown into the known, the unconscious into consciousness, the unaware into awareness. Right? This is the frequency that we have. Right? When we are dealing with the warrior energy. And in this vibration of Kin 206, right, it's reminding us of what we can release, how much intelligence, cosmic intelligence that can be released, right, if we go on that path of the unknown, those quests, ask those quest ions, right? We are guided by our own power double. And it say double up with it. You got one question asked, go back in. Take that breath again. Right? And release those opportunities. The opportunities to be more, have more discernment in your self-development, to integrate more, to bring on more of the frequencies of being whole, of being divine, of being an immortal. It's time to own that. Right? And to operate in it. And if you don't know how to operate in it, ask the question. For a moment, go into equilibrium, put all your, well, you know, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a this, and I'm a so and so, right? Just for a moment, right? Say, okay, I know, right? Put it right there for a second, right? And hold your breath and get the truth. Get that cosmic intelligence. Release the opportunities of being a divine entity on earth, of being an immortal on earth, of being a cosmic being on earth, of being in your role of one of these expressions of the 260 expressions of the Creator. Release those opportunities into your world, into your environment, into your cells, have it go into a cellular level so that you think it, you eat it. I was gonna say something Iran with it, but anyway, right? It's all you, right? Let's real quick, let's take a look here at the soul circle. Oh, this is so dope. Girl, you and these slides, I'm telling you. Right? What was I just talking about this whole time? What does the World Bridger channel? Enlightenment. It channels the yellow sun, the enlightened one, the 20th archetype, which is a natural world bridger, right? Because it's completing a cycle, it's bridging the worlds. It's telling you to live an enlightened life. That's the end. That's how you close it off. That's everything. That's why I say, my perspective is we came here to feel ourselves, to enjoy living an enlightened life, enjoy being the creator on earth and feeling all of it, not just the pain and the suffering. That makes no sense. Right? So let's look at that. So the World Bridger is channeling this enlightenment. And that's what's been speaking this whole time, telling us to be enlightened, get into our right mind, get into the mind of your divinity, be divinity dominant on earth. Know your expression. If you do not know your archetype, I know it's more folks on here now. We said this earlier, right? You want to know which one of these expressions of the Creator you came in as, put your date of birth in there, we'll give it to you and learn all you can about it, right? It's an insight. It's a confirmation of what you already know about yourself, right? So channel that enlightenment, right? The World Bridger channels enlightenment, right? The mind of the world bridger is what we just talked about, is the warrior, is cosmic intelligence that goes on a path, bringing in all of the unknown, the unaware, the unconscious, making it conscious so we can express it in real time. This is why the world bridgers can bridge worlds, right? Because it's going out there and finding all them worlds that we don't know about yet through the warrior, right? How does it move? What's its EMP? And I know my 13 tones folks know about that, right? How does it move? It's moving through the vision. It has the eagle eye. It has the eye of Haru, which is Ra, right? The eagle. The eagle spots its prey or spots whatever it is that it's seeking to create. And it can create any mental state to be in it. Again, bridging worlds, right? It doesn't go in there. The world bridge is not going in there and say, okay, well, see, the way I am is like this. And so all this got to be like me. No, it knows how to create the mental state to move things. It's going to have to bring that back into this world. Right. So in order to do that, you got to be flexible. You can't be on that judgment. You can't be limited to your judgment. You can have them. Don't be limited. If you want to bridge some worlds, you're going to have to be able to see the move. The way the world bridger moves is through the seer. That's the eagle. That's how it transforms these things and brings all these worlds together, because it can shift the mental state. That's interesting, right? In there saying it that way. I'm guided by the world bridger. So that's pretty interesting. I just look at these little things, right? So then how does the world bridger show up? As the prophet, right? With the mudras, right? As the one who expresses destiny on earth. What have we been talking about this whole time? Being in your right mind. As the goddess, as the God, as the divine expression of the creator on earth. That's your destiny, it's your birthright. And the world bridgers bridging those worlds so that whichever way we need to see it, to be it, it's going to explore those spaces and bring that into our waking consciousness, right? To explore it. So, all right, y'all. All right. Woo! All right. What opportunities does cosmic intelligence release? Right? I want to open it up for a moment. If we have any, just for a few minutes, if we have any questions, you can put them in the chat. I don't want to necessarily bring people up, but if you have some questions, some things that you may have missed or maybe not felt that was covered, go ahead and put it here in the chat. We give you a couple of moments. Yep. All right. Open minds, open lines. All right now. Ashe. Right. I know there's a lot of good stuff going on in the chat, but I'm disciplining myself to stay focused, stay on point. Yes. Okay. All right. Any questions? Anyone? All right. Okay. All right. So this is what I want you. So the next time, right, we come on, if you have questions, if you think about some afterwards, bring those to the next session and we will answer a few of them at the end. But with that, it definitely has been my honor, my pleasure. I love y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. Hotep. Hold on. I see a question. I see a question. One moment. I see a question. Okay. How do you find out what, wait a minute. How do you figure out what archetype channels what? You always look at what is in the resonant tone. So when you're looking in a wave spell, whatever archetype sits in the center of that wave spell is the channeler, right? A resonant tone channels. They say I channel in order to blah, 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 right? And so whatever archetype sits in that center is the one that channels. So for example, look at that. Maybe that's why we spend so much time on the warrior, right? Guess who channels the warrior? The wind. So the wind is channeling cosmic intelligence, which is one of the ways that enables the wind to be the speaking tube, right? That puts it in, right? Just think about it, right? Y'all follow me, right? The wind is input. Right? It says, like, for example, my signature, I'm the white galactic wind. I harmonize in order to communicate, modeling breath. I seal the input of spirit. Boom. Go right here to this wind. This is not me. This is the resonant wind. Right? That's sealing in the input of spirit because it's channeling the warrior. And what did I say the warrior does? Goes out into various paths, right? That are what did I say? Uncarved or paths. That's not the right word, but anyway, right? And brings back that intelligence. Sound a little bit like what the wind does, right? Because the wind is putting in. Where's it putting in from? The unknown. This is my perspective. The unknown, the unaware, the unconsciousness. So it's channeling this through the warrior. These are my perspectives, right? So that's how you find out. And if you look at your own archetype, you'll probably find something very similar. And you might say, ooh, okay, I see how that happens, right? All right. What other question? Were there any other questions? That's a great question. Thank you. Any other questions? When we take new opportunities and get butterflies, how can we tell if it is a release? When we take new opportunity, oh, yeah, well, I'm gonna say, you know, it's only one way to find out, right? Is about to do it, but to release those butterflies, right? Usually, to me, that's a sign anyway, right? Because where the butterflies come from, they're usually in your gut, right? It's a gut feeling, and butterflies are not a unpleasant feeling. You know from your gut, you know from your power center. Right? When you get those fluctuations and, you know, the little butterflies, they're like good feelings. If it hurts, that's a different feeling. Right? And the release, if you're uncertain, like I said before, go into that heart-centered breathing. Right? And that's that breathing. If you don't know, right? I think many of you are aware of it. but I'll speak it out loud, right? I don't I want to just make sure that everyone is aware, right? Is when you breathe in from the heart and you slow it down like I'm doing it now, right? And you are literally allowing everything to you're having that divine trust. And if you focus your energy right into the heart center, right? If you haven't practiced this a lot, you might feel a little anxiety like, oh my God, what's happening? It's your unencumbered self stepping up, right? And it'll take you through those butterflies. It'll take you through those, those feelings, right? You let the unencumbered self do it. Let the unencumbered self answer or bring in the information, right? All right. What? Whoa. Okay. What's the best way to bring death to long expressions? I'm not sure what you mean by long expressions, but I'm gonna say in general, the best way to bring death to anything is to make a decision about it, right? Make a decision. If it's something that you don't want to experience anymore, you may have to. Now, it's not just a simple, hey, I'm, creating something that the mind is or the brain is not going to accept. You do need to walk through it. Oh, when you're the heart breathing. That's yep. Like when you're explaining something, right? Heart breathing. Right. But let me go back to how I was answering the question in the beginning, right? That when you are trying to just bring death to anything, right? Then you it's a process to it, right? Before you make that decision, right? You go through the process of looking at it, saying, hey, this is what happened, how it happened, whatever. You allow yourself to get all of those frequencies out, and then you make a decision. Okay, well, I see what happened. I see why it happened. I see why it keeps happening. So this is now what I'm going to do. And you do that all in your heart breath, right? Let your unencumbered self do that. And now if you need an oracle on it, if you need a divine on it first, right? That's when you go into that breath of deathlessness. You use that as a divining tool. See, sometimes everything we have is already here, right? Now, I don't, it's okay to get outside confirmation, but sometimes in the moment, it's in the middle of the night. You can't call, Nayon in the middle of the night. She's asleep, right? You need it right now. You always have it. Hold your breath like you are underwater, and you would get your divination. All right. So yeah, like when you're explaining something, again, you want to slow it down, breath, heart breathing, right? Thank you for that. These are great questions. Okay, any more? I think that's it. But thank you all. I love this. I got a shout out to my elder council. Right, I'll be listening. See, I'll be listening. Right, I got to shout out my elder council, my aunties and big mamas that come in and say, they said, you know what? If you change your session around a little bit and don't answer the chat while you're speaking and ask and have the questions at the end, I think that might work better. Right? So I love my elders, right? They know, I know my aunties, right? They come in and they straighten things out. I like this format. So give thanks. Y'all holler at me, I appreciate y'all. All right. So it definitely has been my honor, my pleasure. I thank you all for the questions. Again, bring your questions next time. We'll answer them at the end. It has been my honor, my pleasure. Definitely go to the website, check out the events that we have coming up. And I will see y'all on the next one. Hotel.
Wow, High Priestess. Oh my goodness. Y'all, this has definitely been a divine session. Oh my goodness. World Bridge, Ken 206, Priestess Kylie. Definitely still shout out Happy Galactic Return to you. And to everyone within this wave spell, thank you so much for everything that you are contributing to all that it is that we're doing over the course of these 13 plasmas. We want to remind us all, coming here, showing up in time, not on time, but in time is definitely one of those avenues or pathways to help synchronize. So on every single Friday, we are here for aligning with the evolving cycles of time, knowledge, and empowerment. From the music all the way down to the conclusion, we're bringing about synchronicities and synergies and elevations and evolutionary changes, throughout fulfilling this mission for MIMEC. I definitely want to give honor to High Priestess I Am Makaru for holding the torch in maintaining this program, not program, this session that we come to every Friday. I remember when I first came in, it was Baba Wanik. I believe he's the one that really honed in on the cosmology foundation that we bring at the beginning of the session. And then Baba Neb Taharka Kanish Kawak, came through with the empowerment of helping with the order and the 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 way the session flows. And then High Priestess with her cosmic wisdom and knowledge, bringing in all that it is that we're here grabbing a hold of in order to apply it, right, to our wholeness. And I definitely want to give thanks again to Priestess Initiate, Moon Goddess, Ambrosia, Ken 181, for stepping up and stepping in to express that which I know she holds dear to her heart, which is giving the oracle reading. And then to Baba Akil, Ken 38, for holding the front like he has over the last couple of years with hosting and bringing in that foundation. And, any and everyone else that has come forward, Brother Amun, who's taken time out of his exponential schedule, from time to time to come and share with us profound knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So, to any and every one of us, y'all, if you weren't here from the beginning, I think I saw somebody that came in and said they was late. But hey, look, even though you weren't here from the beginning to help us build upon the synergy, definitely make sure if you weren't here in the beginning, get the replay, go back in, visit our YouTube channel, like it, comment on it, share with all like-minded individuals, because we are here doing a greater work together for the melanin dominant population. And we need you, and you, all 260, okay, to bring all this to fruition. So we got works to do, not just on ourselves, but on ourselves as well as each other, for the universe. So thank y'all again so much for showing up. We're going to go ahead and release. What opportunities does cosmic intelligence release? Say that with me 2 more times. What opportunities does cosmic intelligence release? What opportunities does cosmic intelligence release? Go ahead, y'all. Enjoy your creations and be about answering that with a true, pure heart, open mind, liberating any and everything that no longer serves you, and putting death to the things that just don't mean no good for nothing and nobody. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. Peace and love.
Immortal. Yeah. Came out the portal, immortal into a human body. I've been existing way before the earth had Anunnakis. Intergalactical battles, intergalactical travels, infinitely going through stars. The universe will unravel all of its secrets, peep it. I'm starting to leak it. Time for truth is coming, 100, it's time to seek it. Expanding my perception through the spectrum of light. I'm going in with spectrum and the shit's out of sight. We indigo children, yeah, we building frequencies through the ceiling. Penetrating through reality, a marvelous feeling. Regardless, we're healing these humans that be claiming we demonic. The resonance goes over their heads, we super cosmic. Your logic is ignorance mixed with fear in your thinking. My pineal gland is flooding, son, that shit don't be blinking. Sinking into your subconscious like a song with no words. The way I come up with these symbols of letters is absurd. Hey yo, my rhymes are like angelic beings. The shit is freeing, so pure that if you were born blind, I'll have you seeing. Breathing in a multi-dimensional light so captivating. Double helix is nonsense, so what I'm activating. Feel the power from within, seeping right through my skin. From the earth into my feet as it goes up to my chin. It got me grinning, rotation like spirals, my music spinning. I told you that I don't be playing, still I'm always winning. Fibonacci to the haters, curve them right to the side. They don't understand the energy, it comes from inside. So inside is what I master, used to be a disaster. Now I'm gladly elevating to a whole new chapter. Yeah, I'm giving birth to a whole new style. I incarnated through New York, yeah, I rep Long Island. Don't get it twisted though, I'm truly repping this earth. I came to free all these humans and show you all what you're worth. Immortal. Yeah, raising your frequencies one soul at a time. As I pass this mic to my boy Spectrum, yo Spectrum, light that up, kid.
They tried to tell me I'm mortal, I told them I was immortal. They asked me what makes me different, I asked them what makes you normal. I just followed my morals and I unfollowed the formal. Hopped on a track with crews, now we straight cruising through portals. I download the Metatron, I'm reversing it till I'm dead and gone. If you think I'm dope, then you said it wrong. Not trying to flex, but I'm hella strong. Mine did things you never seen. When I say mine, you know what I mean. I'm the most when I'm in my mode, and y'all average is like the mean. I really didn't mean to go intervene. I'm the middleman, chilling in between. You should do the math, we ain't keeping score. But I just hit a 3.14. I cook it up, make it look easy as pie. I'm moving in silence and seeing the sign. I am the G, if you remove me, all you gon' see is your sins. This is a big game of sins, the simulation is breaking again. I'm taking control, creating my soul, and if the truth fits, I'm breaking it in. Breaking it. All I really know is that I'll never know. I've been here for forever, don't know when to go. I think that indicates that I'm an indigo. In that case, I'm in the go. Green light, my heart, chakra booming. Solar plexus, Lexus zooming. You assuming that I'm human. I'm just being what you doing. I've been teaching teachers frequently. It's apparent I'm a parent when it comes to raising frequencies. The way I'm living life, I haven't rest in peace recently. Immortal with my technique, but my ego dying easily. Death is teasing me by leaving me with DMT. Now it seems to me that everything I see is seeing me. Life is just an infinite circle with a twist. I used to wanna be like them, now they do not exist.
Immortal.